Lauren Messiah, personal fashion stylist and co-founder of the fashion school, School of Style. We are in video 2 of this 3-part series that is all about how to become a profitable and awesome personal stylist. Now, if you missed video 1, you're going to want to go back and take a look, because in that video we're talking all about the profession of personal styling, why it's awesome, and why now is the perfect time to get in on this industry. All right, so head on back if you missed it, and then join us here for video 2. In video 2, I'm going to give you the secret to making money as a personal stylist. There's lots of personal stylists out there, and a lot of them aren't making money. Sure, they'll make a little bit of money here and there, but when it comes to having big profits that are enough to have you quit your lame day job, that's a little bit, doesn't always happen. But if you use this secret formula that I'm going to give you in this video, you will be making money. Now, the secret, ready for it? It's specialization. You have to be special if you want to make that coin. Let me give you a little backstory to kind of set you up for today's lesson. When I got into personal styling, it was almost by accident. I was teaching a class to a bunch of executives, and one of the executives was like, "Man, I wish I were a celebrity because then you could style me." And I was like, I smell an opportunity here. So I told her I do style regular people. I applied the method that I had used on celebrities to her, changed her life, made her fabulous, and she started telling all of her friends. So my name and what I did and the good work, it kind of spread really naturally, which was awesome. And it was enough encouragement to have me really start pursuing this. By now, I'd already quit my day job. I was trying to assist, do celebrity stuff. I was kind of all over the place, but this gave me that confidence boost to be like, I'm gonna make a website, I'm gonna make my packages, I'm gonna be a personal stylist full-time, that's my new job. And you know, after the momentum of that word of mouth kind of slowed down, I began researching, what do other personal stylists do? How are they marketing themselves? What should I, put on my website? And I got into a habit that I think a lot of new business owners get into. It's like, basically I'm just gonna do what they do because it's probably working, and the difference will be that it's me. And I wanted anyone and everyone who needed a personal stylist to hire me. So all of my packages were very broad. I was like, I will style women, men, children. Heck, I'd even style a dog if you gave me money. I was just like, anyone who has clothes and can afford me or needs clothes and can afford me, we're game. And that didn't really work so well. I wasn't getting a lot of clients coming in. I'd get inquiries, but I wasn't really converting them. And I was like, ugh, something ain't right here. So I was at Barnes & Noble and I read a book that was called A Brand Called You. And all of my students that come to my class, I make them get the book for their homework. I don't know if they all listen, but they should. The book is incredible, and it's all about finding like your perfect client. Figuring out, they call it your A client. We'll get into that in a little bit. So I read that book and it was a game changer. And this whole chapter that was talking about this A client, it was talking about being special and finding that special thing that you do that you can market to potential customers. And you would think that you were alienating people by becoming so hyper-focused and special, but it actually works to your advantage. So at the time, the thing that I was really good at, that I noticed my clients would get excited about, is when I could find them high-end clothing for less. And that's just something that I'm really, really good at doing. I can find Louboutins at TJ Maxx, no joke, I found multiples there. I'm good at finding a deal. And the client base that I had from word of mouth, they were very wealthy, high-end clients, but they really appreciated getting a good deal. They're like not frivolous, wealthy people, but smart, rich people. So I was like the fun, stylish, dirty little secret of this cool, like Hollywood elite crowd. So I was like, yes, specialization rocks, this works, I'm gonna keep going with it. So my brand became this kind of luxury for less brand. And I would Instagram, things that I found on sale and consignment and, discount stores, Nordstrom Rack, which I still do because I just love it. But it took over my brand. I would blog about look for less and all these deals. And I thought I was doing a really good job until it turned around and bit me in the ass. So suddenly, because I was getting more exposure, I would, get press, I was on TV a bunch, then other people would be like, oh, she's the get good stuff for cheap stylist. And I started attracting this new type of client that was not the type of client that I really wanted to attract. So, in this process, and kind of the straw that broke the camel's back was I had a client completely rip me off. And she was like, I want Chanel and I want Louboutins and I want them all for sale. And I was like, oh, I'll do the best I can. I'm like, you really need to build like a nice wardrobe and then we'll splash in some nice things along the way, but you need to spend money on like a good solid wardrobe. Long story short, homegirl wrote me a bad check, took off with the clothes. I lost a bunch of money. It was terrible, had to go to court, super big nightmare. But that was like, oh my God, that's it. I can't do this anymore, something's gotta give. My specialization worked until it didn't work. That's when I worked with a business coach, and that was a really big game changer for me. And this business coach was like, you need to specialize. And I'm like, okay, honey, I already did that, and I ended up losing thousands and thousands of dollars. And she's like, no, we need to get to the core of who your client is. And I had done all of the like customer avatar things with that book, and I have done Marie Forleo's B School, and she talks about that a bunch. Very incredible resource, by the way. B School's amazing. But this coach helped me get into the emotional state of this ideal client. So not only was I tapping into their demographic of where they work, where they live, who they hang out with, but also like the real problems that they were having to their core. And once I mapped that out, my whole marketing as a personal stylist changed because I knew exactly who I was speaking to. It wasn't that I was speaking to this woman that wants a deal, and I still will always get my clients a deal. Why spend more money if you don't need to? But talking to a person that likes a deal can be all different types of people. It can be the success-driven executives that I worked with. It could be the poor, ratchet chick that ripped me off and had me in court for months. It spans too many different types of people. But once you get into the mindset of your client, you know exactly who you're speaking to, you know exactly where they hang out, what they read, what websites they're on, what Facebook groups they're a fan of, and then you can really pinpoint your marketing. And once I did that, my packages changed, the services I offer, the price points, and the ease of getting clients was insane. It was like a light switch just turned on, and I was like, oh my God, all these clients are here. It's like a party. So getting specialized is that secret sauce game changer that will make you money, but you have to do it the right way. You have to do it the right way. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of homework to do to help you develop your client. Now, if you come to any of my classes, we go way deeper and go crazy style, but this will be enough to get you started and get you going. I want you to take a sheet of paper. You could type, you could write by hand, whatever floats your boat, but virtual paper, real paper, get it out. And I want you to imagine one person who is your perfect client. One person. And write everything you can about this one person. Give her a name, Give her a car that she drives. Visualize her apartment that she's in. What job does she have? Is she single? Is she married? Is she married and she can't stand her kids? Is she so busy? Is she doing everything for everyone else but not herself? Like, get deep into this person, so deep it's like you know them. Write all that down and then write down where you think that client hangs out. So what stores does she shop in? What restaurants does she eat? What magazines does she read? What podcasts does she listen to? Get all that down and then figure out what makes you the perfect personal stylist that can help her achieve amazing style. And I'm telling you, it seems like kind of crazy. You're like, what does the restaurant she eats at have to do with me styling her? I'm telling you, once you start tripping out and writing all this stuff down, things will become so very clear to you. And then whenever you're coming up with your packages or writing an email or a caption on Instagram, you can ask yourself, would imaginary person, let's call her Judy, would Judy like this Instagram post? Would Judy like this tweet? Would Judy open this email? Would Judy spend this much on this styling package? That is going to set you ahead of most personal stylists because, trust me, most of them aren't thinking about that. They're thinking of a cute styling package, they're slapping a price on it, and no one's buying it. So do that as your homework. That is the lesson from video 2. I really hope that it was helpful. Remember, this is a 3-part series, so we have another video coming up after this one, so stay tuned.